introducing my players. First up, we have Azure, played by.
Starmie 827, and Ager is a half-elf paladin.
Excellent. And then we have Sylvia, played by.
Cerulean. And Sylvia is, as always, a sorcerer warlock hybrid who is a
Then we have Okoru, played by.
Charwolf, and Okuru is a very handsome bugbear monk.
And last and certainly least dead, we have Ivar, or Goldcrown, played by.
Ryanaga, and Ivar is a gray dwarf eldritch knight.
Marvelous. So, last time we met, the party was exploring a underground settlement that happened to contain a number of goblins and a handful of hobgoblins. They had discovered, wow, what was his name? I want to say it was Yek. Yeah,
Yep, that's right.
Yek the Tall.
Yek the Tall. Yek the Tall had a odd magical item called the Circlet of Human Perfection, and it transformed him from a goblin into a very tall, very attractive male human. And he used that to somehow gain leadership over the rest of the goblins, and the party put an end to that and him, and took the Circlet of Human Perfection for Raz, I think. And so you guys thoroughly looted the rest of the goblin settlement while leaving the goblin merchants untouched. And so far, they're all fairly happy with you for releasing them from Yek's tyranny. You also found a map of the entire third level of the dungeon betwixt some dwarven butt cheeks. And so that's where we start. So there are two areas that you have yet to explore. There is one area right here, and then the other area is over here. So grab a token, stick them in front of one of those doors, and we'll get this all underway.
I vote I will go wherever Azure decides to go.
Yeah, Azure picks.
Let's go south then, in this big room.
South, south. So here.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
And let's
Azure
do our
decides.
rolls too.
All right. I am going to try to run this while deleting all the goblins because there's no mass delete option. So I have to do this one by one. Okay.
Oh, that's a good roll.
Oh, everybody roll perception for me. And then since you guys are exploring new territory, I assume that Okoru will also be rolling stealth separately.
Yes.
I'll roll stealth too,
Okay.
just for.
We're stealth buddies. Actually, you
Yay.
beat me today. Wow. Very nice.
Okay. So, as goblins blink out of existence, I will use the mask mode.
No.
So you guys open the door, and heading through to the south, you find that the passageway twists to the west. So once you place yourself, I will, yeah,
My poor banana butt nothing.
20, 30, 40.
The best whip seller.
60. Oh, they'll still be there, just won't be represented on the map. All right, so the passageway continues further down to the west. I'm just going to do...
Corey, you gotta go first. I can't see shit.
Yeah, I know. These goblins probably shit everywhere.
Okay. Oh, sweet. I love that. Handouts. Okay, so this hallway is actually surprisingly clean, but I'm going to get into that in just a minute. First things first, I want to reveal some map stuff.
Well, there's no shit on this floor,
All right.
so the goblins must not have been here.
Right. So as you approach the four-way intersection up ahead, you can see that there are frescoes on the wall of that four-way intersection, and they depict shield dwarves at work. The images are at present moving. You're not certain if the wall is enchanted or it's some sort of illusion. The dwarves will roll and stack barrels. They carve blocks of stone. They drink from stone tankards and so forth. And And as you walk closer to the intersection, even though you are stealth, the dwarves wave at you and will occasionally even wink. And in fact, here's what some of the frescoes look like, except in motion.
Is that blood on the wall there?
Please never mind the blood on the wall. Hold on a second. I'm gonna get the
I'm gonna
let's see,
roll Arcana
10,
to see if I can
20,
see what sort of enchantment that.
40, 50,
Yeah, no.
60. There we go.
You don't
God
have
damn it.
detect magic.
10.
Well, I
20.
do, but like
Okay.
sitting
Well,
here for
I'll
10
roll.
minutes.
I'll roll Arcana as well. Oh, sorry.
Okoro will take out his calligraphy kit and write in a respectable place. Dwarves hide things in butt cheeks.
What language do you write it in?
Infernal.
The little dwarfs on the wall will occasionally walk up underneath the text and they'll point at it, and they seem to be talking to one another. Of course, no sound issues from their mouths. They scratch their heads and then eventually shrug and kind of go about the rest of their business. But periodically, someone will point at those bits of lettering. Um, and one of the stone dwarf carvings actually sort of jumps off of his level of the drawing and sort of swings back and forth on it, uses it as a chair, and then climbs back up to his level and goes back to his work.
Funnily enough, the word for butt cheek is also the word for happiness in Infernal.
Hmm. This has been your Kids Fact Corner with Okoro.
The more you know.
I will peek south.
All right, let's see here.
Unless Sylvia was already doing that.
10. No, she wasn't close enough. 20, 30, 40, 50, 60. Go like that, and then go like that, and then, okay, so that's 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, I believe is correct. Make sure I clean up this wall so it's clear, and then go here as well. So yeah, this intersection becomes remarkably more complicated once you reach here. There's a number of different paths that you can take from here.
Azure, where do you want to go?
Let's go north first.
Okay.
Path
I will,
number 1.
I will peer around this corner.
10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60. And then again, clean up this wall. And then draw here so that things are a little bit more clear. There we go. It looks like there is there is a room off to the east from here. You can't see much detail in the room yet. You don't see any objects, and you certainly don't see any creatures. Nothing is moving, and you don't hear any particular sounds.
Okay. Where does my stealth buddy want to go?
You know, I figure going north to south in order.
Okay.
That's what my instinct is saying.
Sneak, sneak, sneak.
All right, let's see what we got here.
The stealth buddies have decided.
Let me try it like that. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60. That should be about right.
Very long hallway, devoid of dwarves.
There also seems to be a javelin or something embedded in the wall.
Nah, it's some sort of weird leftover artistic remnant. Um, I don't know where it came from, but it doesn't represent anything. It's also not in the original book. I checked.
Just another thing a dwarf stuck in his butt.
Mm-hmm. Are you going any
Sneak, sneak,
further?
sneak.
All right.
I'll go
let's
this
see
way.
here. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60.
Well, that's the hallway.
Yeah,
I'm
this is
sort of assuming.
exceedingly wrong.
Doot, doot, doot.
I'm sort of assuming Raz is staying close to Haleth for protection.
Oh, Raz is not present. You don't have to worry
She,
about her
she's
presence.
negotiating with the goblins.
There you go.
Okay.
I will be the goblin queen
30,
while
40,
looking like a beautiful human.
60. All right, and then clean up that wall, and then clean up that wall.
Is there a wall to the far north there? I
Yes.
assume that's a wall. Okay.
Yeah, that's a wall.
Here around the corner.
Okay. Ten, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60. Should have started
Wow.
up higher. All right, give me just a second. I would not do that until I've read something.
You don't want to make another character too?
It's a mimic. The entire room's a mimic.
Par for the course.
Okay. Um. Okay. Sorry, I'm just making, and this is area. Okay, great. I'm glad I wrote that little note. That's handy. All right, so moving right along. The hallway out ahead of you stretches off into the darkness. Given the relatively high perception of Ivar, he can
Oh, also I have superior dark vision. Maybe I should go a little further upon noting that it's really dark out there.
Well, yeah, everybody. I think Sylvia is the only human. Is that right?
Right.
Unless we're to Raz as impacting her dark vision.
Well,
I believe it would ultimately, but Raz isn't here, so it's
the reason
irrelevant.
why I bring it up is because mine is called superior dark vision 120 feet.
Yeah, it just lets you see 120 feet. You don't have like better perception
Oh,
or
okay.
anything.
I didn't know what that was.
That's fine. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, and it goes even further. Wait a minute.
Wow.
No, actually, it doesn't. I revealed too far, but that's fine. Um, yeah, so basically, this is, again, an exceedingly long hallway. Uh, but what I was trying to say before you move forward was that based on your position in the hallway, this, as in all dungeons and all sort of, hard stone walls and places like that, sounds echo a bit. And in this particular case, your senses are attuned enough that you are able to hear um, two beings at the far end of the hall, the east end, um, quietly chatting amongst one another. They are chatting quietly enough that you wouldn't be able to discern what they say. You suspect it's in a language that you do not speak. But most importantly, it's barely a whisper. And you catch little bits of it here and there, and you know enough to recognize it as a language. But nobody else really seems to pick up on it.
All right. So I explained that to the stealth buddies in case they want to put their stealth to the test.
Sure. Ivar, do you know what direction it's coming from? I assume further down the
Yeah,
hallway and not like from the walls.
in the back of the hallway, I guess.
Is from the east end of the hallway. Yeah, it's actually, you know what? Hold on a second. It's probably somewhere between 80 and 140 feet away, is your guess.
Okay.
Well, my dash action lets me move 90, so I would do that.
So you're
20, 25, 30, 35, 45, 50, 55, 60, 65, 70, 80, 81. So
I
I
wouldn't
am.
Yeah. Dashing is loud, right?
Will that break my stealth? If so, then I'll just move my regular 45 feet.
dashing would, but more importantly, stop
Hmm.
there. So you set foot into the larger room, and there's a click, and out of the wall, as you turn, a dart fires and impacts you right in the arm, despite your
Okay.
best attempts to dodge. And at this point, you also have to you save. The dart is covered with some sort of viscous, unpleasant-looking material on the tip, but fortunately, it doesn't seem to bother you. Now, however, the click echoed throughout the room. So while your stealth is not actually broken, you can hear creatures at the other end of the hallway start. And they sort of speak to each other in hurried voices, and then they say, hold on. I hope this works. Well, shit. You would have translated it out of Goblin anyways.
Oh, okay. I hear that in Goblin.
Yeah, there we go.
Nice.
It wasn't letting me drop it into the chat window for some reason.
I'm just gonna run at the voices.
Okay.
That ain't the smartest move.
Well,
It's in character.
I'm not here to judge either way, but you're the only person who understands it. I just want to make sure that's clear before you go forward.
Okay.
Okay. So anyways, you move to here. There's another snick from the wall, and a poison dart shoots out,
Okay.
hits you. Oh,
I use my deflect missile to catch the dart.
is that sufficient?
Is it a ranged attack?
Right, but doesn't it have to hit you within some certain range?
Nope.
Oh, okay. Well then, what do you have to do to catch it?
I have to take the hit. I have to spend a key point, which I will spend, and then I reduce the damage by a D10 plus. Looks like 8.
I have another important question. Why is it that you take half damage?
Yeah, that's strange.
That I don't know. What kind of damage was it?
Well, it's piercing, but the first damage was dealt in full, and the second damage was... Wait a minute, it might actually be... Nope. Nope, okay. Anyways, sorry, go ahead.
So it's actually supposed to be 18 damage.
What is? No, it's not. It's a D4.
Okay.
So it's supposed to be 4 damage. In the when you roll the D10, there's always a chance you could roll a 1. So I'm just trying to make sure that your hit points are accurately reflected. That's all.
Yeah. No, I'm going to deflect all that damage away and catch the dart that was supposed to hit me.
But aren't you supposed to roll?
I can, but it's +8. I can't
Oh,
roll lower than a 9.
okay. this creates a complication, but I suppose, yeah, I guess I figured it out. All right. Oh fuck. Hopefully, nope. That did exactly what I hoped it wouldn't do. Give me a minute. I gotta clean shit up. All right. Now, let me do something else here. Oh fuck. Okay. Well, I'm glad I got that right then. So as you reveal them, you know that this is the general area of these traps.
Okay.
So anyways, uh, you're going to continue proceeding forward until you see something, I take it?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm almost to one half of my movement right now. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30,
Don't
30,
move
40.
anywhere, because I wanna
Okay.
roll this out a little bit. You also are at 2 hit points, not 4. Where is the thing that I want? So I want to go like this. I don't know if this is going to work. I hope this works without causing a problem. Okay. How much more feet do you have total?
So that's half my dash action right there. I have 45 more to go.
Dash would ruin stealth.
They already know I'm here.
Oh, okay. Well, it's just that. Fine. So that's half, which I need to know actually in feet because I'm trying to count it out on the board.
It's 90 feet.
All right. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. Snick.
Man, those things have high attack rolls.
They really do.
I'll take that.
Mm. This one is okay. Checking. All right. Here, and then here. I believe that was 25. And then at this point, you can see 2 humanoid creatures at the end of the hall. As you get closer, it'll probably become apparent what they are. What did I say? 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60, 65, 70, 75, 80. So you can make it like right up to them if you intend to immediately attack, but you would obviously have moments to decide that as you're approaching. So what's your plan?
He waves at them and says, "Hey, goblins. Just a dumb bugbear here."
So you're stopping at this point?
Sure.
Okay. The goblin, sorry, not the goblins, the hobgoblins, have their weapons equipped, and they repeat the phrase in Goblin.
I'm just a dumb bugbear. What do I know?
Everyone roll initiative. Okay. So at this point, we're going to start with you. You've already used up your movement for part of this round. It's just whether or not you're going to continue into attack mode because they become hostile and, it is apparent that they
It's
don't.
apparent they've become hostile. They're not
No, they're
gonna.
not happy. They're about to
Okay.
attack you.
All right, I take out my whip, and since I'm 15 feet away, I will whip Hobgoblin number 1.
Okay. Hold on a second. I'm just checking. All right. Whip Hobgoblin number 1. Go ahead.
Yep.
Oh, I'm so sorry. They're bugbears. Same. As far as I'm concerned, same thing.
I'll use my multi-attack. Oh, fuck. Yep, I was useless. That's too
Yeah.
bad.
So that particular bugbear, for whatever reason, is very, very light on his feet and manages to.
He was trained by the goblins that we can never fucking hit.
It would seem that is the answer. So you got your attacks in, you got your move in.
That's it if I can't move.
You can. You have used 75 feet, which means you have another 15 feet to go.
Okay. I'll pair back. Seeing as my plan to rush in and say hi to Gobos did not work. So if I have 20 feet, I will pair back.
Okay, so when we get to the next, or before I get to the next character, for the rest of the party, with the exception of Ivar, who can actually see that entire distance, basically what you end up hearing is you hear Okoro break stealth. He darts down the hallway. You hear snick, 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 and you're not sure if those hit or what those noises were, with the exception of Sylvia, who can actually see. And then you hear a very audible whip crack, which is of course very noisy, and that makes it apparent that battle has begun. So that's your context for action here.
Crack that whip. Da-da-da-da-da-da. Licorice whip.
Wait a minute. Oh, well, he missed, but that's fine. So then for this guy, let me add the appropriate bonus here. Let me see here. Delete that. So but he's 35. So this guy steps forward one, hucks a javelin at you. God damn it.
I am bugbear number 1 now.
I think it would have missed you anyways. It wasn't supposed to be disadvantage. I fixed it. So anyways, he steps back. And then it is Haleth's turn. 10, 15, 20, 25. He makes it up to here. And then steps forward. Snick. Well, the funny thing about Haleth is that, he has a surprisingly decent armor class for, a dead person. But mostly because his skin has crisped up and kind of become taut with death. And so, yeah, the dart kind of hits him and it just doesn't impact. And he's, immune to poison, so.
I would imagine pretty much everybody, the trap having gone off twice in front of Sylvia, that at least that trap is pretty obvious, right?
Sylvia was. Excuse me. Anyways, where was I? Azure moves to that square. Snick.
And then I was going to dash again and get rid of this one.
Okay. Snick.
And that's my
Yeah, both of those impact your armor and are deflected.
For everyone else, the traps don't roll 20 plus. Just the bugbear. They really want to poison the bugbear.
I know, right? Sylvia, you're up.
Okay, can I see where the traps are?
Wait a minute. What's your perception roll?
Very high.
Yeah,
It was?
I don't seem to remember. 16. 16 is insufficient. You
Damn
know
it.
that the darts are coming out, but like it's also pitch black. You can't actually see.
Yeah. Downside of being a
Well,
human.
I've got that drift globe, though. I can turn that on.
That will require an action. It would also
Screw.
technically make you more visible to your enemies.
Yeah, but I'm pretty far away from them at the moment anyway.
True, but you also don't know that because you haven't seen them. You did hear the
Well,
whip crack, and you know the creatures yelp at the end of
That,
the hallway, so you know there are enemies. You just don't know how far they are.
they're pretty far away though
I'll
from
take the risk.
All right.
from the yell.
I'll turn on the drift globe and see if I can see where those traps.
Here's what I'm gonna do. I'm going to draw a circle, and this isn't obviously intended to go pretty far. So if I remember correctly, and I'm gonna double check because I'm not familiar with drift globe. Drift globe here. Which spell are you using, light or daylight?
Light.
Okay, so light, if I remember correctly.
yeah, don't use daylight, please. Thank you.
Okay, so light is 20 feet and then additional 20. So this isn't actually 60, it's 40. 35, 40. Okay, so this is how far you can see. Half of that distance is dim light, so there you go. Anyways, despite being able to see, you actually still cannot tell where in the wall that these darts are coming from. There's plenty of sort of um, spaces in the wall where these things could be coming from. You'd kind of have to like go up there and specifically investigate to try to find it. But what you can be certain of is that where Haleth is, the floor tile is depressed about half an inch. So it looks like it is activated via floor panel.
Hmm.
Now, you can
Uh,
also sort of see Azure, and where he stopped, the floor panel is also depressed half an inch, but it's only within his 5 foot square. As same for Haleth.
Okay, so I can't tell which wall the trap is firing from, possibly both, but I can at least tell what's setting.
Yes.
I am gonna back up and then make a little bit of a running jump over what I think that tile is to
Okay,
get to about here.
this is going to require me to look things up.
Is it an athletics or acrobatics check, maybe?
It's probably
Uh,
like a pretty.
No, your running jump is actually just based on your strength score.
Oh,
it's,
really?
It's an automatic number.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Movement.
Interesting.
Speed, forced march, mounts vehicles, difficult terrain, special types. Jumping! Okay, we're talking about a long jump, and
Yep.
Brandon is, of course, correct. You cover a number of feet up to your strength score if you move at least 10 feet on foot immediately before the jump, which you can. When you make a standing long jump, you can only leap half that distance.
Mhm.
Either way, each foot you clear on the jump costs a foot of movement. The rule assumes that the height of your jump doesn't matter, such as a jump across a stream or a chasm. At your DM's option, it can matter about height. It doesn't here. When you land in difficult terrain, that's irrelevant. Okay, so the important thing here is that what it looks like to me, how I'm reading this, is not only, and I'm sorry, I'm going to grab your character. You went here, ran to here, that's another 10 feet, jumped, and I believe that's another 5 foot of movement. But you were able to hit the ground and continue running. So
Mhm.
then 5, 10, which means that, I'm not sure how much of your movement you've used up. I know you're keeping track of it, but ultimately what I'm trying to say is nothing seems to prevent you from continuing to do multiple jumps like this.
Okay, cool.
Oh, also, obviously, when you jump over the space, um, actually, let me double check. I want to make certain that I'm right about this. Yeah, when you jump over the space, nothing shoots out of the wall to hit you.
All right, I'll tell everybody. Hey guys, it's floor plates.
Uh,
That's what's setting off the traps.
so you shout that out. Blah, 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 blah. Command word action. Illuminated globe. Rise into the air. Blah, blah, blah. 5 feet. Hovers this way. If you move more than 60 feet. Okay. So, all right. I've got the info I need. I'm actually going to move this ever so slightly so that the 40 is in the square that the drift globe is. Um, it doesn't really affect visibility. I'm just going to go like that because I can and it's more accurate. But it matters. So anyways, drift globe stays where it is. You run ahead, and I take it that's your full movement.
That is my full movement. I don't know, lacking anything better to do, I'll just cast Shillelagh and be done with my turn.
Okay. Um, is that a bonus action? Oh yeah, it's a first level spell. That's fine.
It is. No, it's a cantrip, but it is a bonus action.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, that way you can attack after with your
Yep.
shillelagh.
Huh. That's the only bonus action cantrip in the entire game. Okay. That's Sylvia's turn. Ivar, you're up. Obviously you saw all of this, and you've also seen multiple people get hit by darts.
5, 10, 15, jump.
You just count the square as normal movement.
Right. And then I'm using my dash. 5, 10, 15, 20. No, I'm not going to do that because, well, yeah, I can't shoot from there. So 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. I'm not going to stop in the trap, so I'm done.
Okay. So Ivar races up and then across, does a little jump, manages to clear the trap.
Actually, I'm going to stop here so I have running jump for next turn. There we go.
Perfect. Apparently we're back at the top of the round. Okori, you are up.
All right.
All right. Well, since these are weaklings, I don't need to. I don't need to whip into stunning. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35. I'll just move here for 35 feet. I'll drop my whip and switch to my warhammer. See if that little extra bonus does the trick.
Oh,
Looks like it.
so when you make it to that square, despite having been hit by them so many times, it's a surprise each time.
I can't actually see anything you've just rolled, Alex.
Oh, I see the problem. Let me try this. Oh, I see the problem. Well, the number I rolled was a 23. It was supposed to hit you. I think you can tell because you know that you're on a trap, that you happen to be on the trap square. So when I dropped it, it dropped it on the trap itself. But 23 would still hit you. So, and
Yeah,
again, you're taking
and
half
it's supposed
damage
to be a
for,
2.
huh?
It's supposed to be a 2. You said, not a 1.
Correct.
Okay.
For some reason, it's still doing half damage to you, but I'm not clear on why that is.
I think eventually I got a monk ability that will give me immunity to poison, but
But that's from the
I
dart itself. I'm waiting to make sure that you don't deflect anything before I
I
roll.
won't deflect this one.
Okay, then I'm going to try to hit you with the Constitution check. You succeed, so you're fine.
Okay. Well, that I'm standing on the trap, but that bugbear is getting a warhammer to the face anyway. But I am going to, as my second attack, kick him in the nuts.
Okay,
Grand nut kick.
that's a mighty
And
kick, all right. He's in heavy damage.
because I did a unarmed strike as part of my attack action, I gain 2 AC. And then as a bonus action, because I've hit somebody in melee, I get to do another nut kick.
Okay.
Give me just a second. I tried to pull back up my nut kick. I'm not fucking around anymore, apparently.
You usually aren't.
Okay.
I think that bugbear won a Darwin Award just for pulling his weapon.
Yeah, he may well have.
I'm just a dumb bugbear who hits pretty hard. All right,
Yeah.
that's it.
So that creature's very nearly dead. So the next thing that's going to happen, let me check something. Okay. The bugbear that you attacked limps away as fast as it can and goes around a corner. And actually, give me a second. I got caught up in combat. Forgot to reveal what you could see of the next room.
Sure.
5, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. And then I'm going to go like that. And then go like this. There we go. All right, so you can see that there's a broader room in there, but exactly how broad is unclear. There's unworked stone walls as well, for some reason. Yeah.
Okay. That's it for my turn.
Okay. And then these are bugbears. You're a hobgoblin, right, Brandon?
No,
No,
he's
I'm a bugbear.
So
We're all bugbears here.
then why do they not have the reach that you have?
I don't know. It might be built into them somehow.
That's
Mine's a race ability from the race, the player's race. So
that's weirdly inconsistent. Okay. Um, try that again. There we go. I'm gonna clear that
are
off.
you attacking the trap again?
Yep. And then 5, 10, 20, 25, 30. You have an attack of opportunity as he retreats.
Sure.
I'm certain he's going to regret that, but it is amusing. Mercy, Brandon. that is all the damage that you could deal. He's bloodied severely. Life is not happy for him. Haleth is up. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. He's going to stop here as well because he can't make it. Well, actually, you know what? He's going to go to here because he's immune to poison.
Half power.
Ooh, he finally got hit.
Wait, Alex. He's an ally within. Oh, is it attack or save?
Is what an attack or save?
The dart. Sorry.
It's an attack.
Okay.
Okay. So takes 4 points of damage. I'm just checking
It's
some
just
things
going
real
to
here.
immediately heal.
He is immune to poison. He won't heal until his next turn, but it'll be fine. So he cannot be forced to roll. Azor, you are up.
I'll use my movement to go here.
Okay.
I'm just walking. Or,
Yeah, but
I guess,
everybody can.
running.
Everybody except Sylvia can see it. So there's another snicked. The dart
I'll use
somehow. Yeah, it's the armor. That's what's doing it. Yeah.
and I'll dash to here.
Okay. Right. And
That's
then
it.
Sylvia, you are up.
So I'm gonna run and jump diagonally, if that makes sense.
Uh,
Just gonna do that.
Frolicking.
I think I see how that works. Wait, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35. Okay, so that's all your movement. And then let me check something. You are 10 feet, so you're 50 feet away from the globe. Okay, so you are outside of the range of light. You can no longer see anything.
Well, I've still got an action, so I'm gonna cast light.
Okay. On what?
Okay, do you see the spot on the wall directly southeast of trap number 3?
Yes. However, you don't. Sorry to be an ass about it.
Well, okay, I'm just gonna cast light randomly on the wall over there.
I think that's a problem. I think let me try making this easier for you. You can cast it on your weapon because you're literally holding it and thus are able to tell where it is, but the rules actually prohibit you from targeting something you cannot
Okay.
see. And again, I'm sorry to be an ass about it, but like it matters at times for like invisible creatures and stuff, so I need you to be used to that rule.
It actually, I'm wrong about the rules too. I have to touch an object that's no larger than 10 feet, so I will
Oh,
just touch my shillelagh.
yeah.
As awkward as that sounds,
Well,
phrasing.
the other thing is that I can understand why you wouldn't want to because then you're holding a glowing stick that makes you a target, but you can touch the wall next to you if that
Target
helps.
anyway. Well, I can't though, because it's one object that's no larger than 10 feet in any dimension, and the wall's big.
Oh, okay, cool. All right, so Shillelagh
So,
is lit. I'm still going to represent the globe on the battlefield, but let's see here. You can just see out another 40 feet. So there you go. That ends your turn. So Ivar, you are up.
Running jump for my 25. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. Then I'm going to dash. 5, 10, jump. 15, 20, 25. And that's my turn. Oh, actually, I might. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Can I see into the next room?
You're within. Let me make certain of this. 10, 15, 20. And then for an additional 20 beyond it, 5, 10, 15, 20. So the row of squares right behind or west of Azor, that's where Sylvia's new light spell from her shillelagh casts to. When you're in an area that is lit, you cannot use dark vision, so you actually can't see outside of
Okay.
Sorry.
Thanks to my human friend, I'm done.
Thanks to the turn order more than anything.
That too. Okuru, you are up. You can still see. I want to say that's number 2. Yeah, that's number 2. He made it to the corner, but he hasn't gone around it yet. So there you go.
15, 20.
Oh,
Fly
and
kick him into the
also
wall or
one
something.
more thing before you go.
Oh,
There we
before
go.
I stepped off the trap, I looked behind me and said, "Where I'm standing right now, there's a trap."
Azure is aware of the presence of the trap.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm gonna bash this guy in the head.
Oh no!
You could have been nice to me. You could have been nice.
Oh no! You take a short dash forward. Warhammer in hand, you sort of swing it around. The momentum just takes the skull right off the top of his shoulders. He's just a stump, and the rest of his body just slumps over. The head flies off to the door somewhere. Also, let me go ahead and reveal that. And that's about as far as you can see. Okay,
Okay.
so
I'm gonna keep going because that was only 20 foot of movement. I have 45, so 25.
bear with me while I reveal stuff.
Aha!
You didn't get that far. That to there, and then this to here, and this to here, and a little bit more here. There we go. Okay.
Okay, so I'm gonna stop on top of this guy's corpse, and look the other bugbear in the eye, and I'm gonna warhammer him too.
Oh
But
no.
I'm gonna do so since it's a melee attack. I'm gonna do so for non-lethal damage.
Okay.
So let's see if I can just knock him out.
Ooh.
Okay.
Okay.
I unconscious him.
So you knock the one person out, sort of leap forward, swing your hammer again, glancing blow across the back of the head is all that it takes to knock him unconscious, and he slumps to the floor. Now there are some terrible cracks of Warhammer meeting skull, which are quite loud, but aside from that, you seem to be good. So we're gonna leave combat for now. There is some light coming from the west in the space just ahead.
Mm-hmm.
It's really
Oh,
low.
okay. I'm gonna pick up the living bugbear and take him back to the group, being mindful that I know exactly at least where
Jump.
one of the traps is, and chuck him over my shoulder and look at Azure, who is closest, and say, "I fucked that up. I'm sorry, but I got one of them. He's still alive. We could talk to him."
Are you gonna toss him over the trap to Azure or something?
No, I'm carrying him, waiting for the rest of the party, which is clearly smarter than me, to tell me what to do. But
Leave him there for a second.
I do say they were speaking goblin, said something about Xanathar's eyes.
So I heal the unconscious bugbear for 4, so that he's stabilized and everything.
Let that wake him up.
Not immediately.
Okay.
He is capable of being woken up now.
Okay.
Don't wake him up yet. I wanna. You said the trap was right here, right?
Yeah,
Azor has seen it, and Okoro has seen it. Now that we're out of combat and we're not concerned about like turn order or anything like that, you have a better idea of where the traps are. It's fine.
I'm just gonna poke that spot on the ground with my quarterstaff repeatedly to see if I can get it to expend all of its dart ammo.
Oh, okay. Do you have if there is a number that is reached where you would have reached a number that you consider to be excessive and give up, what number would that be?
Let's say that.
I like that method of rolling. I would have been much more. I would find that a lot more funny if it had rolled a 3.
I mean, it would be in character for.
Oh, it would. 3. I give up. uh, so amazingly enough, so first of all, with Shillelagh, um, that is fabricated by the spell, right?
What do you mean
Uh,
fabricated?
is Shillelagh enchanting an existing quarterstaff, or is it creating a quarterstaff from nothing?
No, it is enchanting an existing quarterstaff or club.
Okay, give me just a second.
I'm sort of poking the ground with the butt of that.
Does Shillelagh let you attack with wisdom or intelligence? I forget.
Whatever your
Um,
spellcasting modifier is.
Oh,
yeah.
really?
Yeah.
so, so it's a talking Shillelagh now.
Uh, give me a minute.
Do we just wind up with like 44 poison darts littering the floor?
Well, the problem and question is. Hold on a second. I think I found my answer.
I have one of the darts. I caught it.
Magical ornament. Oh, nope. That is not the answer to my question. Oh, there it is. This is what I want. It's 5e handle. Harsh effects. Looked it up. DMG said they're resilient. Resist. Okay. Oh no. Okay. So here's what I'm gonna say, um, and thus what all of the very long lookup was about. The answer is that long before you get to 44, you're going to get somewhere in the neighborhood of about 15 of these. Now, each time that you impress the floor with sufficient force to activate the trap, um, the dart will attempt to hit your shillelagh. And by sheer probability, there are a decent number of these that will hit your shillelagh. And if they keep doing that, you will eventually start to damage your quarterstaff to the point that it will be destroyed. And I did a quick calculation. I think that's going to be around 15 fired out. Now, your shillelagh isn't destroyed. You're doing this one at a time, so you would notice bit by bit your staff would take damage despite being magical, because I looked that up as well. So there you go. You get to about 15. There's no indication that it has run out of darts. Um, so there.
Well, that's disappointing.
Indeed.
I gotta wonder who reloads this thing.
Or how it reloads.
Magic.
Incidentally, so it seems like how the trap more or less functions. In a short explanation,
Jump across.
I'm going to draw a. Well, I can't draw a rectangle, can I? I'm going to draw a line. Anything that enters into any of these 4 squares um, will cause the pressure plate to depress, which causes a dart to shoot out of the wall. The darts are shooting out of different areas of the wall. The wall has these stone blocks on them. They're squares, and at the space where 4 squares the corner touches, is a place where a dart can come out. It does not always come out of the same spot on the wall. It goes up and down along that wall, hitting at various points. So, anyways, I think that a more appropriate thing to do would be if you roll a dexterity check and have a criminal background, you can attempt to disarm traps. As I remember, disarm traps is not its own roll like it was in like 3.5.
True. All right, I'll try and disarm the friggin' thing.
Do you have a criminal background?
I am an urchin.
Hmm.
I don't think that
Do you have
counts.
Do you
It
have
might.
thieves' tools?
Yes, you have proficiency with thieves' tools. That counts.
And I have them, so I'm going to do that.
Woohoo!
Okay, so let me update. You don't have to have criminal background. You just have to have a background that gives you proficiency with thieves' tools. That's it.
Hmm.
Proficiency is required to disarm traps.
Okay.
So roll a dexterity check, add the proficiency bonus using the modifier in the lower right, and then tell me what you get.
Modifier in the lower right.
Yeah, if you look below the chat window, it says modifier. It says 0.
I think you mean the lower left, right?
I do. I don't know my directions. Ironically, if I had said in the west, I would have been more accurate because that was what I was thinking.
Oh, come on.
All right. Give me a moment.
Does it fire all of them?
No. It does fire a dart. The dart happens to miss you. So
They're
there's
bugbear
that.
seeking darts, so it just comes after me instead.
You had a feeling that it might be possible to like wedge the floor panel in such a way that it would sink in, but you couldn't get the wedge quite right and slipped, and that's how you nearly got hit by the dart.
Can I try it again?
hmm Hmm.
God damn it.
Let's see. Bloop. The dart somehow does not come out of the wall properly. Maybe it has something to do with your attempts to disarm the trap, but it spins through the air on a horizontal plane and then uselessly skitters across the floor.
Okay. I'm going to make one last attempt before I just give up and accept my own incompetence.
Sounds good.
Okay.
Also a failure. These dart traps are surprisingly well made.
Are you allowed to tell us what the DC is that we need to reach?
I mean, I could, but I mean, like ultimately, it's literally random. Like the penalty here for failure is the possibility of getting hit by a dart, which could in turn poison you. So,
Yeah, I'm not qualified to try and disarm this stuff.
but I mean, the bare minimum that I can tell you is that since you know what Sylvia's highest check was, it's a 15. The DC is higher than that. So,
I also
anyways,
just
there's nothing preventing anybody from jumping over the trap. Not an issue. You can all get over to the other side without having to, make it look weird. Anyways, the bugbear is currently unconscious, and there you are.
I'm impressed by Sylvia not getting hit by any of those darts.
I would have if not for my shielding spell, my mage armor.
Still impressive. I got hit 3 times. Or 4. I can't remember.
Well, no, 3, because you deflected one of those.
Yeah, it's still technically hit.
Technically.
You're a bigger target.
Regardless, what would you like to ask the bugbear when you awaken it?
I mean, Akoru, you're going to be doing the talking because, like, I don't know. Ask him what the heck he was talking about because I couldn't hear him from way down the hallway.
Okoro explains again that They were talking in Goblin and demanded that I
Oh,
name Xanathar's eyes.
is that role playing, or do you, as the player, not remember what it was?
That's role playing.
Okay, that's fine. Okay, that's the answer. What would you like to ask him?
Well, let's ask him who he's working for, what his garden thing.
Okay. Um, hmm. Let me think about that for a second.
And where any other friggin' traps are.
Um,
Do either
oh, I'm so sorry.
Ivar
I got
or
distracted
Azor.
because so much is happening. But
Uh,
with Ivar's relative proximity, um,
hmm
just north of Azure, he points out that there is a weird space between the wall, or sorry, between some of the panels in the wall. And so when Azure sort of reaches up and feels along, he manages to find a hidden lever. It was disguised as a part of the wall, and when he pulls it down, there is a sort of mechanical grinding and ka-chunk, and all of the floor panels along all of the rows where the trap is depress into the floor without firing darts.
nice.
So, anyways, um, so who are you working for, and what was the other question?
Where are there some other traps that we need to worry about? And I don't know, I guess who are you?
Okay. Um, so when the bugbear is awoken, we're going to start with who you are, and the bugbear says, "I am Gortoon."
That's a strong name for somebody on the ground who needs to answer more questions.
He scowls. Uh, I I work for Xanthar's guild.
Orkoru translates back and explains to everybody
Oh,
what
he's
he's
speaking in
doing.
common. I'm so sorry. I would have typed
Oh,
it if
okay,
he was
great.
speaking another language. No worries. Um, and I am guarding northern entrance to Spider Eye's watch post. And then as for the question regarding the traps, I see that you have found the lever and disabled all of the traps. As far as I know, there are no further traps.
Well, thank you for that. That's very helpful.
Um,
Who exactly is Spider Eye?
Spider Eyes is the watch post. It is a name of a place.
Oh, so there's not like some sort of weird drider or something here?
Uh, no.
Don't judge me. It sounds like a name a drider would have.
This is true. He concedes.
I don't know. Was it just you and your buddy over there who were watching this place, or who else is
Um, we were the ones watching this entryway.
here? That was not what I asked.
I'm not entirely certain what I'm going to get out of answering further questions.
Okoru goes over, picks up the head of the other bugbear that was lobbed off, and places it in front of the living bugbear.
Right, but I assume that that is my eventual fate regardless. I might as well die with honor and defiance upon my lips.
Or you could go hang out at the Goblin Market. You could tell Banana Butt Muffin that Okoru says hello. You could go work for him.
He looks at you with confusion. I do not know you. You've murdered my companion. I have no actual reason to believe that you will simply let me go when this is done. I suggest a show of good faith.
I mean, I
All right,
did hear you, but I can.
Go ahead, Sylvia.
I take out my healer's kit and I use that to heal him. God, what is it at this?
He holds up his hand when you pull out the kit. Uh, I will make a suggestion. You will judge whether it is worthy. I suggest that I be placed, say, and I'm doing this for illustrative purposes. Um, Here, have your companion here. If you place me here and allow me to leave when my our conversation is done, then I will tell you more information.
Okoro shrugs. Sounds good to him. I don't know how Azor and Ivar feel about things so far.
Sure.
I mean, it's a tenet of my faith to try and be merciful if I can. So
Okay, well, I'm not hearing a lot of disagreement. Okay, so then at that point, he gets up, relocates to that position. Ivar sort of makes sure he gets where the bugbear is supposed to be, Gortoon, and then relocates himself just in case he betrays you, so that he can run him down. And right, so now that he's in position, what are your questions? He's ready to dart, but he isn't actually leaving yet.
Ivar, you got any ideas?
Nope. Don't care.
What are the locations of the other bugbears, and are they single?
There are no other bugbears in this area.
Hmm.
Well, actually, I'm sorry. I, the DM, am saying that. I didn't see any. There may be some. Oh, wait a minute. I found the information I was looking for. There are bugbears in a barracks, approximately, I don't know, within about 120 feet from here.
What's the most dangerous thing you know of nearby?
He considers for a moment. That would be Shun Sereth, the drow in charge of the outpost.
How many drow are there?
Hold on a second. Okay, good. There is a single drow, but there are multiple bugbear warriors and Xanathar thugs in the area.
Who is Xanathar?
He looks at you with great surprise, and then
I'm gonna roll history, cause yeah,
yeah, go for it. Anybody can roll history.
Azure living in a cave.
Quarantine.
I want to roll too. Just I got a lot of things in my way. Forgive me.
No,
Mm.
holy shit!
Wow. Okay. Actually, this kind of works out in a weird way. Okoru actually recalls the name. Xanathar is a beholder. He is known for running a elaborate thieves guild. I believe it's run out of Skullport. But it has a variety of sort of different outposts, and it's known for infiltrating Waterdeep pretty deeply. It's a bit of a combination between a regular sort of a thieves guild and the mafia. Um, Xanathar is exceptionally paranoid, as is common among beholders, and so that has actually made his life pretty easy as the leader of his thieves guild. But he apparently has, he has agents throughout the city, but apparently he even has agents throughout this dungeon. However, you're not exactly certain what their objective would be down here because, like, this dungeon is ridiculously dangerous on like a good day, and it shifts all the time. And so even if you had agents and outposts and stuff like that, it's not like you could send people through the dungeon easily. Um, and the guy himself said that this is a outpost. It's not like, yeah.
So I got two questions real quick. Number one, how come y'all even have an outpost down here? And number two, you were using a password to try and gauge whether we were friendly or not. Tell us all your passwords now.
Um, uh, the password is. Sorry, I'm looking for it. The question is, how many eyes does Xanathar have? And the correct reply is, as many as there are stars in the sky. So that's.
Oh, Xanathar. You guys have weird accents. That's not how I've heard that name before.
Ah, and despite that, you managed to correctly identify it. Now, the other thing is that being the leader of a thieves guild, he is a fairly obscure figure in a lot of ways, because of course, who wouldn't be? But as for, there are no other passwords or passphrases to enter this area, and as for why there is a watch post, uh, Xanathar is establishing these watch posts throughout various levels with the intent and attempt to understand the political landscape across each of these floors and eventually dominate it so that Xanathar's guild will control the entire dungeon.
I like domination.
Additionally, uh, we had lost communication with watch posts on the first floor. Someone came, a runner, with a message indicating that the watch posts were wiped out by adventurers. I assume that is you.
You assume correctly.
His
Wait,
face is even more dour now.
Ivar, you weren't there.
I heard you guys say that.
I bragged a lot.
Yeah, I mean, we have a grade A bragger in our party, so
Yeah,
I
you
mean,
can't.
okay, fine.
I mean, try to silence Okoru.
Okay.
Any
Well,
other questions?
I think I'm out. Anybody else?
Yeah, I think I'm done.
Okay.
hit the market.
Are you actually going to allow him to leave?
Sure,
Yes.
why not?
Okay.
I will remind him that he should go work for Banana Butt Muffin. Banana Butt Nothing.
Yes, you had it right the first time. So he vanishes. He makes it down the hallway, goes around the corner. Whether or not he works for Banana Butt Muffin is anybody's guess. But more importantly, you have cleared out this small section of the watch post. So it seems that you're on the cusp of a watch post, and you've made a fair bit of noise.
Woohoo! I say we do whatever Ivar wants to do.
Well, I'm gonna turn invisible, so I can do that.
Well, the rest of us can't do that.
Yeah, well, if you don't mind having a scout who is invisible but also has medium armor. I won't be that stealthy, but they won't be able to see me.
Yeah, you'll still need to roll a stealth check, obviously because of the armor you were just talking about.
Yeah. Well, honestly, never mind. I'm just gonna keep the invisibility to run away if necessary.
Okay, that's fair.
But yeah, since you asked me what we should do, I'm not worried about them, and they can already hear us. So let's just charge into them.
Yeah, all right.
Well, I mean, not literally charge in, because that'll
So-
probably end up in a trap. But
Yeah, set yourselves up in the position that you want to be. You're aware of where the corner is and where the space
Mhm.
continues. Just as a brief aside, most of this room, like you see all the little stones on the floor from the map, those are areas where, for some reason, this room has either been worn away or parts of it have sort of been broken off and are irregular. Some of it might have come from the ceiling, you're not sure. But some of the walls, any wall that is straight is worked. Any wall that has irregular patterns to it is destroyed in some way. Okay, so the party has clumped up there. Are you guys going to send Okoro ahead to scout?
Sure.
Okay.
Why not, right?
Oh, peer around this corner.
Are you going to roll a stealth check?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, give me a moment.
I might as
I
well.
seem to be a little tired after that.
You did a lot. Okay. I have the information that I need, so now I'm going to draw. Actually, okay, I know what to do. Let's start here. I hate it when that happens. And then I'll go like that. And then I'm going to clean up this little bit here. Okay, good. And now to get this part taken care of, go like that, and then go like that. Um, there. Okay, that's more or less correct. And then, make sure I get this right. Uh, 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 hmm. I think that one, that one. Oh, I see. I don't need to do those. I'm having difficulty locating everything. Also, let me get these poison dart traps off for fuck's sake. They've been disabled. I don't need them in this list. There, that's what I was looking for. That one, and then where is there. Okay.
It'd be nice to
Um,
have access to that fireball today.
there we go. And let me also reveal one more thing here. So what I was trying to, the reason this is all revealed, battered oiled lanterns rest atop toppled blocks of stone, illuminating this partially collapsed hall. There are some crates and barrels and 7 wooden cots which line the walls. You can see that. Remember the drow that was mentioned a few moments ago, Shun? Um,
Mm-hmm.
Shun is in the center of a gang of human thugs, and Shun has his weapons drawn, as do the rest of the Xanathar's guild. They're all kind of circled up around their leader, and they're all looking out. Now, they don't seem to see Okoru or Sylvia, based on where they are. Anybody that's in a line from east to west of Okoru and Sylvia, if you're in that space, you run the risk of being seen by people around the corner. Um, so there you go. But anyways, they don't seem to see either of you. They have their weapons out. They're on alert, but they haven't noticed you yet. Now, also, and beneficial to you, because of those various lanterns that are spread about this room, um, it's casting a lot of sort of weird shadows because of multiple light sources. So that actually works to your advantage if you were to try to sort of sneak closer in the shadows.
Um,
1 second.
can I, unless somebody objects, I could just take a longbow shot at Shun from here, or
Yeah.
one of the thugs.
Oh, and actually, because you
Yeah,
can.
I can fire off. I can fire off eldritch blasts from here too.
Okay. Before you do, there's some information that you get about these creatures just because you can see them. Shun currently is wearing studded leather, has a shield. Um, his melee weapon seems to be a short sword, and you see a hand crossbow attached to his belt. So that's a little bit of information. Most importantly, though, Shun seems to be very heavily deformed. Um, he has some spider mouth parts. He has some weird spider eyes. He has some bizarre appendages that look like a cross between drow arms and spider arms. And he, yeah, looks really heavily cursed or mutated, something like that. Um, so there's that. And then for the thugs surrounding him, they're all wearing leather armor. Um, Nobody has any shields, but they do have maces in their hands and heavy crossbows um, on their sides. So I just thought that that would help in terms of like getting a sense of their armor class and shit like that.
Mm-hmm. Thanks.
Yep.
Um,
I
so
could guiding bolt him first.
if I get a surprise round hit on somebody, I deal a D8, 3d6, and a D4 in damage plus 5.
That's complicated.
So I'll let you guys decide our strategy. I've been doing a lot this game, but
Well, that does more damage than Eldritch Blast, I would assume.
Or guiding bolt. Yeah, go for it.
Now, before we start, let's have everybody roll initiative just so we know what the order of the turn is going to look
Okay.
like. Anybody that happens to go before Okoru, in case he gets just a bad roll, that person can hold their action or do something. But, you know, if you're waiting for Okoru to fire off or Sylvia to fire off, then you'll have to wait until the next turn or something. So anyways, it looks like the first person that's going to be acting in combat is Shun. Shun doesn't see anyone, so has nothing to do. Passes. Azor, do you have a particular action you want to take?
Nope, I will pass.
Okay. Haleth also passes. Now it's Okoru.
okay. Uh, so who do we want to hit? Do we want to try and sink all this damage into Shun, or try and maybe take out one of the closer guards first?
Yeah, I would aim for. I would aim for the.
Ivar, do you?
I
Azor?
was just thinking, can you roll to identify Shun? Is that a possibility from this perspective, or
Oh yeah,
because
Shun is well lit
okay,
and standing out in the open. You can attempt to. You'll get some. You'll see what you can get. In this
Okay.
particular case, this is a person. I don't know. Uh,
History, Arcana.
Nature. Actually, let's make it history. I don't use that roll very often. Well,
Okay.
no, that's not relevant for monster stats. Let's make it nature. We'll just,
Okay.
yeah.
It's okay. My bonus is the same on both.
Okay. Yeah. So if you're not mistaken, Shun would fall under the classification of Drow elite warriors. So some information about Shun's likely stats based on what you know about Drow elite warriors. Okay, he has dark vision. Doesn't apply here. Speaks Elvish and Undercommon. All elves have advantage against being charmed, and magic can't put Shun to sleep. Drow have innate spellcasting abilities such as Dancing Lights, Darkness, Fairy Fire, and Levitate. Generally, they're only able to cast one of those spells a day each. So unless Shun, I don't know, multiclassed into Mage or Priest or something, it shouldn't have any other spellcasting capabilities. While in Sunlight, Shun has disadvantage on all attack rolls as well as any Wisdom Perception checks that rely on sight. Um, Drow Elite Warriors are generally able to attack multiple times with melee weapons. The exact amount would depend on how skilled Shun is, but obviously it starts at 2 and goes up from there. Um, Drow elite warriors are known for their ability to parry attacks, um,
Hmm.
and it would give him basically a bonus advantage against anyone that was wielding a melee weapon and attacking him.
Okay.
And then there you go. Now, the only other thing that I will throw out here is that Shun's spider features are not common among other elite Drow warriors, indicating that
Hmm.
there may be some special aspects to Shun that you wouldn't know because Shun is an individual rather than just a Drow elite warrior, if that makes sense.
Mhm.
Sure.
Okay, cool. Then that's all you know.
Okay. So since I assume he is in the surprise status and I'm hidden,
Uh,
uh,
do you get a bonus to hit?
I get advantage. I'm pretty sure.
Yes, you have advantage.
Okay. Uh, so as a bonus action, I'm going to activate my Kensei shot to up the damage on all my ranged attacks. Um, and then I am taking out my longbow, which is empowered by my key, so it is a magical weapon now. And
Oh,
okay, so this is going to
Holy
be
shit.
so what I am rolling is a D8, a D6, because I'm expending a key point to add my martial arts die to that.
hmm
I am rolling 2d6 because I'm a bugbear and just got a sneaky attack, and a d4 because my Kensei shot is active, and then this will all be +4.
the
So
the
do you how do you want me to roll this damage? Because if I can lay down the d8 right now as normal, and then do you just want me to roll 6d6 and 2d4?
uh roll the d8 +4. The
Okay.
+4 should be exclusive to the d8 anyways.
Yes.
I didn't count 66. I thought you had 3d6 because it's one for surprise.
Well, it's going to be doubled because I just got a critical hit.
Oh, yes, that's right. So, yeah, 66.
Okay.
And then
Uh,
don't drop those on him. Just roll them in the chat and I will add them.
okay. 1,
Oh, you can right click and add
2.
additional dice.
Oh, okay.
So you can add 4 more to your next one.
Okay. Ooh.
Yeah, and you can right click any number of times to add additional dice. So that would bring you up to 24, 26. Uh,
Ooh.
sorry about
37.
that, dude. Oh, thank you. Well, I'm gonna do 26. No, you're right, 37. There we go. Shun Shun is immediately pushed into bloodied values. Obviously. So that critical hit did some really severe damage out of fucking nowhere. The end result is that I rolled perception checks for all of the creatures that could, excuse me, potentially see you. Do
Hmm.
you see unidentified creature number 5? He's the closest creature to you.
Yes, I do.
He is the only person who somehow was able to
Saw that amazing shot.
yeah, he saw that amazing shot and his mouth opened as the arrow was loosed, but he didn't even get a word out before it impacted Shun, who took it right in the chest, and that's a bad wound.
As 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 part of my attack action, I'm taking a second attack.
Go for it. And I only bring it up because Creature 5 is the only person that will act this round and is not subjected
Sure.
to your special surprise.
Sure. Well, my special surprise is spent for the combat. It's once per combat, but I still get advantage, I think, on Shun, right?
Yep.
Wow.
Wow. So Shun kind of collapsed a little bit narratively from the sudden blow, and propped himself up with his shield, and that actually really lowered his profile. So you fire
Mhm.
off another shot, sort of hoping to like skim his skull and instead just catch the very top of the shield. Obviously, at this point, the encampment has exploded in noise, and everybody's more or less spotted you by the second shot. They're all still surprised, but there you go.
Okay. I think I can hold here pretty safely.
Okay, Sylvia.
And I've.
Oh, sorry. Is there anything else?
That's it.
Okay, Sylvia, go for it.
Okay. So from where I am, I guess I can fire off a couple of Eldritch Blasts. Unless you guys think a different strategy is in order.
Nope. Sounds
I'll just
good.
blast and run the fuck away. That sounds.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's the strategy to go with. Eldritch Blast. Nope. Oh, come on.
He's basically gone prone.
Continuing to cower behind his shield, two blasts of radiant light impact the surface, and you can hear him kind of shouting out. Sylvia backs up and ends her turn. Yes.
I guess I'll cast Shillelagh again, just in case. But other than that, yeah.
Okay. Ivar, they've all done their attacks. What will you do?
I will firebolt, I guess.
What is the distance on that?
It's a lot, I believe.
I think it's
120.
120.
Oh,
Yeah,
yep,
it's good.
120. You're fine. Ooh, you hit. Ah, I see. Wow. Shun is a fucking hero, man. So
Yeah, he's just still down.
he like really took one for the team initially, but like he's in general mode. Um, Admiral Yi. Anyways, so he's crouched down behind his shield. He's taking those blasts. He pokes his head around the corner of the shield just a little bit to try to catch a glimpse of his assailants. And a firebolt hits the edge, and the heat that blasts out kind of singes him a bit. And he cusses, presumably, in Drow.
Oh, before I end my turn, I just want to roll to identify those guys, if that will provide more info.
Sure.
Or won't. Okay.
Oh,
What should I roll?
Against the other people?
Yeah.
Yeah. Nature.
Okay. Oh, they're people.
There we go. Right. So they're thugs that you kind of knew that already, but you're not really sure if these particular thugs are that dangerous. It's hard to tell.
Cool.
I assume that
Great
is
turn.
fancy writing of motherfucker.
That's what they said.
Is this adjacent? Okay. And this guy is here.
Watch
Okay.
as they've all got like wands of fireball or something.
Wouldn't that be awful? 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30.
Wait, isn't 5 the only one that gets to act?
You
as a
are
surprise?
correct. Thank you so much for reminding me. Let me get 1, 2, 3. There we go. 5 is the only person who gets to act.
So there.
There we go. 5 switches to his heavy crossbow. He can see Okoru, so I guess there's no real difficulty in firing it
Do
off.
I have some amount of doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
You did. I don't know that it really shows for you, but you have 3/4 cover.
But a 9 wasn't going to hit me anyway, so.
And he relocates to here. Well, yeah, the 9 already includes a -5.
Mm.
Oh, okay.
So he doesn't get to do 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 do. Uh, 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 all right, it's Shun's turn. Fuck, what is he? I know what he's gonna do.
Get up first.
Well, he was only narratively down. He
Oh,
was
I know, I know,
Yeah.
I
Okay.
know.
Well, he considers it from behind.
He
5, 10,
considers taking
15,
it from
20,
behind.
25, 30,
Just give
35,
up now.
40, 45, 50, 55, 60.
Wow.
Perfect. Okay. Let's do. No, I need a circle. There we go. Shun activates darkness. A globe of darkness envelops Okuru, Ivar, Haleth, and Azor. Sylvia can, of course, see the globe of darkness, but cannot see her allies. Yeah,
Ooh, smart.
so you can't see anything. They also can't see you. And so I'm going to make the appropriate characters indivisible. And then I will finish with Shun's action. Um, hmm. I believe. Actually, it's possible. No, no, that's correct. Actually, let me try one more thing. Perfect. All right, I've got what I needed. So that's Shun's turn. Azure, it's your turn. You can't see anything.
Um, okay, I'll try and move here.
Okay, you step outside of the globe of darkness. You can see around it. You can even see the globe of darkness itself, ironically, but you can't see through it.
All right, well then I'll just move down here and end my turn.
Okay. Um, huh. So that's Azure. Haleth. What will Haleth do? Um, Haleth kind of wanders about in the darkness a bit, and then comes to a stop. Actually, yeah, no, that's fine. That's about right for him. And then Okoru.
Okay. Do I know, because this information isn't in the combat tracker anymore, how many thugs got to act before me?
None.
Okay.
Also, because you happen to be adjacent to a wall, you can use the wall to follow it.
Okay.
Makes sense.
5, 10,
You also
15,
can't do a
20,
diagonal across a
30.
corner.
I wasn't.
Okay.
5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35. Yep, this is what I thought it was. I'm going to step out right here at 40 feet
Okay. So
with
you follow
with
the right.
with my longbow drawn.
Longbow drawn. So I wish I could obscure this from the rest of the party, but I can't.
Oh, that little bitch.
I don't know. I tend to think that that was a wise action, considering how heavily he was concentrated on. Anyway, so you've moved out to here. I know you have exceptional movement. Do you still have more space that you can cover?
I do, but I'm actually going to use my attack action right now.
Okay, that's fine.
Activate Kensei Shot as my bonus action. And then... I'm sorry, I always screw up skills for actions. All right, I'm going to shoot the nearest dweeb. This
Probably a dead
this
dweeb.
plus a D4.
Sure, fire
is
off another D4. Oh, did you see that kind of not?
Yeah, wiggle.
Yeah, that was actually kind of cool. Cool. So that's an extra 3. So the creature is at 14 hit points. Okay.
I'm gonna use my second attack.
Mm.
With an additional D4. Oh, that didn't drop on him.
Okay. So then
Those D4s aren't serving me super well, but
eh,
damage is
ev-
damage.
damage is damage. And also, so he's bloodied now. So once you came through the darkness, you already had your longbow equipped. You readied up a bow in the darkness, in fact, because of course you could shoot in the dark. But anyways, when you come out, you fire off your first arrow and then line up a second shot, and the thug is already clutching at his side with pretty severe wounds from those arrows. Um,
Then I will fade back into the darkness.
okay, you step back into the darkness, and Sylvia, it's your turn. You can see Azure to the south of you, and you also, of course, see the globe of darkness in front of you.
Oh, this globe of darkness is throwing me off.
Um, this is true of everyone. When a spell-like effect goes up, because this is a special ability to drow, it replicates the spells in the spell book. So if you need additional information about it, you can always roll Arcana to, recall the spell's entry if you don't have it in
Doesn't
your own spell book.
doesn't daylight counter darkness? Or am I
That's
forgetting?
correct.
Ah, yes. So you have access to that, don't you?
Oh yeah, I do.
Mm.
On account of the globe.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, yeah. So hold on. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60. Okay, the globe is here, where that 40 is. It's supposed to stay up to 60 feet away from you. There we go.
In other words, if I try and
You would have to go back to get it. You can't actually pull it to you with any mechanic. It just will stay within 60 feet
Can't,
and doesn't get any closer.
can't we
yeah,
just say she picked it
and
up
it'll
as a
bonk.
matter of course while we were dealing with the dweeb guy? I can't imagine she'd leave it behind.
Fine. All right, so if you're going to place it, say here, this is the area that it would affect for light. Daylight is 60?
Do they? The reason why I mentioned daylight instead of light was because I thought it was a higher level. Am I incorrect on that?
No, you're absolutely correct. Daylight, so the crib notes for darkness and light and things of that nature. Um, Light is first level, darkness is second level, daylight is third, I believe.
Okay, so
Yeah.
only one can counter it. Oh, okay.
So darkness counters light because it's a lower level,
Mm-hmm.
and daylight
Right.
counters darkness because it's a higher level.
Right. Okay.
Um, Also, you can, once you cast daylight, just like casting it normally, you can also choose when to end the effect, as long as you aren't separated from your globe somehow. So you could turn on daylight and then just turn it off.
And that would counter the darkness.
It would erase the darkness, and then the darkness wouldn't exist anymore.
A burst of light is all it takes.
Exactly.
Okay. I'm going to use my impromptu flashbang to banish the dark.
Okay. So the light explodes out, blinks away, as does the darkness, revealing Okoru with no cover.
Yeah, his eyes go real wide. This was not his plan.
They'll have another target. I'm going forward to.
Anyways, the globe activation required your action, so you still have your bonus and you still have your move.
So I'm going to move here.
Okay.
Oh god, what do I even have as bonus actions? I don't have much.
It's Shillelagh. That's literally the only cantrip that is a bonus action.
Yeah, but I have spells too.
Uh, yes, yes.
But I don't have any that are actually bonus actions. So I think that's my turn.
Okay.
I will just note really quickly. We know that these thugs all have crossbows.
Hmm. And you have deflect arrows.
Okay.
Well, nobody told me. So I'm out in the open.
Okay. So, Ivar, you're up.
I mean, you told me out of character, but Sylvia doesn't know.
All right, I'm gonna
No,
shoot.
Sylvia knew. She could see.
Oh, I'm gonna try to identify them again just to gain anything. It's nature, or
Yeah, nature, because I don't know what else to do.
Shit, I
Okay.
forgot to do that.
It's okay. These things happen. That's enough. So, or at least I think it is. Give me a second here. Oh, yeah, that's enough. Let me just, there we go. So these are Xanathar thugs.
Hmm.
Xanathar's thugs work really well in groups. They have
Mhm.
unusually good, what's the word I'm looking for? Teamwork, I would say. They have advantage on attack rolls against another creature if one of the thug's allies is within 5 feet of the creature and the ally
Hmm.
isn't incapacitated. The thugs themselves are a bit better trained than many other thugs out there in that they have multi-attack, um, but it only applies to their melee capabilities. Um,
Hmm.
that's fucking weird. I'll show it anyways. This is the artwork for the thug. I don't know why it has a snake. That's not part of the thug, I assure you. I would mention it if it were.
And
A
the
dragon
wounded one,
snake.
the wounded one is a thug. It just wasn't revealed. It still says
Oh,
unidentified.
so sorry.
Fine.
For
I'm
some,
just gonna try and blast that one and take it out.
yeah, also a thug. And then actually, there's one other thing I want to do. Oh, there's no picture for that. All right, that's fine. So go for it.
Okay.
Ooh, nice.
Ooh.
Yay! I actually killed something. All right. I'm done.
All right. Once you come around the corner and get a good eye, you find the one that's most weakened. You flick your hand, and a firebolt tosses out. So next up is the first thug. Also, I am aware it is 9:26, so I think what I'm going to do is finish up this round, take us back to the top of the round, and then from there, um, we'll pick up next time. So, anyways, so this guy. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Okay. He moves into melee range,
Okay.
uses his mace, which you very easily dodge, and actually manages to hit you on the second one
Okay.
for a piddling 6 points of damage. Next up is thug number 2. He fire. Oh. Ah. He fires his heavy crossbow at Okoru, manages to hit,
Okay.
and oh,
Wow.
I will spend a key point and my reaction to catch that.
Mm-hmm.
okay.
And
Unless you roll a 1, I
uh,
think all of that damage gets erased.
that's true, but we do have to see if I roll a 1.
All right.
Okay,
Okay.
so all
Of
that damage
course.
gets erased.
Can you modify your hit points? I'm not sure what your view looks like.
Oh wait, that doesn't actually take. I'm sorry, that doesn't actually take a key point for me to do that. It just takes my
Just your
reaction.
reaction. That's good.
Yeah.
That's fine. Okay, make sure your
All right.
key point
So
is fixed first, and then do whatever you're gonna do.
all right. It's not worth it for me to spend the key point to retaliate, as funny as that is. So I will just reduce the damage by 10, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. There we go. Much less scary. Okay. But that's my one. I only get one
Okay.
until next round.
Once he fires off, he retreats back, and let me double check one thing. Okay. Oh, he only knows common. That's fine. So he shouts in common, "Hey, you lot, get out here! We have a fight going on." Number 3 is going to fire off at a Koru. Oh,
Oh.
that these things happen. It's still pretty funny though. Yeah, so it manages a critical hit. It's not quite as bad as that first shot, but nonetheless. And then we have. Oh, wait a minute. Before I do that, let me go back up one. This guy. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Moves over here. Then it's this guy. He's gonna fire off his crossbow as well. Manages to hit again.
Wait, does he get advantage?
Yeah.
because there's or was that only melee? I forget.
No, it's just any
Oh,
attack
okay.
that he makes that an ally is adjacent to the target of. Manages to get in a piddling bit of damage. 5, 10, 15, 20, 30. Moves to here. And then number 5 is Akora. Has advantage on an attack roll against a creature if at least one of the thug's allies is within 5 feet.
There it is.
I thought it was within 5 feet of him, like they had to be in formation. I guess I misheard.
Is within 5 feet of the creature and the ally isn't incapacitated.
Okay, I misheard.
That's okay. Pack tactics actually works differently for wolves. The wolves have to be within 5 foot of each other, so you're not wrong. It's just this particular one is written differently for whatever reason. Did I already roll for 5? I did. So he hit, and another sets of damage. He's gonna be able to move to here, and then actually, okay. Okay. Mhm. 10, 15. Okay. It's fine. This finicky map. Move to here. Move to here. To here. Move to here. All right, and then we're back to that particular thug, and he gets advantage and fires off here. Oh man. Oh wow. Okay, crits don't go above 9 apparently. But still, it's a fairly brutal assault, and he's gonna move to here.
Not a great day for a Koru.
Nope. But it brings us back to the top of the round. It will be Shun's opportunity to act when we pick up next time.
All right.
All right. Thanks for playing, guys.
Thanks for having us.
Oh,
Good night.
wait. No, you guys can go. I'm just gonna move Raz to here. That seems appropriate, so that she'll
She's
be able
gonna
to.
magically join us after having a fun shopping day with the goblins.
Yeah. So there's this weird hobgoblin that was like really beat up, and I just knew somehow that you guys had done that, so I showed up at battle at the end.
Oh, can I throw a fireball now?
Yeah, and now that they've all grouped up.
Yep.
Okay, so yeah, that's it. Thanks for playing, you guys. I'll see you next week.
Yep.
Night.
See you.
Good night.